Welcome to our channel. In the past few years, ESG investing has become more popular. It's changing how people invest their money all over the world. This video will help you understand ESG investing better, including what it is about, how it works, and its good and bad parts. I have also discussed different types of investment options. ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. It's a way of investing where you look at how a company does in these three important areas, along with how much money it makes. Basically, people who invest in ESG want to put their money into companies that make a profit but also take care of their responsibilities. Let's break it down. The E in ESG stands for environmental. This is about how a company takes care of nature. For example, they should try to use less energy, save water, and not pollute. They should also follow the rules to protect the environment. Investors want to see that the company is doing its part to take care of the environment and make the most of green opportunities. The S in ESG stands for social. This is about how a company treats people. They should be fair to their workers, respect human rights, and make sure their products are safe. They should also help the community and run their business ethically. Investors look at how well a company treats its employees, customers, suppliers, and society in general. The G in ESG stands for governance. This is about how well a company is run and how ethical it is. Investors look at things like how diverse the company's board of directors is, how much the top bosses make, if shareholders have a say in important decisions, and if the company is transparent and honest. They also want to make sure the company follows all the rules and regulations and doesn't get involved in any corruption. Companies need money, but ESG investors also want them to be responsible and sustainable. They don't want companies to only focus on making money and not care about the environment or people. Environmental factors are like a report card for companies. It tells us how well they are taking care of our earth. It looks at things like how much pollution they cause, how much energy they use, how they manage waste, and how well they conserve natural resources. When investors look at a company, they want to know if it follows the rules, obeys the law, and does its part to fight climate change. ESG investing is when investors choose companies to invest in based on how well they treat the world and how they run their businesses. The E in ESG stands for environmental, which is all about a company's impact on nature. Let's break it down. Investors want to know if a company is making the problem of climate change worse or better. They look at how much pollution the company puts out, carbon footprint like the greenhouse gases it emits, how much energy it uses, and whether it's moving towards using clean energy like solar or wind power. Companies that are trying to use less pollution or make more clean energy get a thumbs up from ESG investors. Environmental factors. Resource efficiency is about how a company uses the earth's resources like water, land, and natural stuff in a way that's sustainable for the local haul. By cutting down on waste, recycling, and using resources wisely, a company can earn some major brownie points from investors who care about the environment. Pollution and waste management are two big things that ESG investors look at when they are checking out a company. They want to know how much pollution a company makes and how well they handle their waste, especially when it comes to hazardous stuff. Companies that do a great job at waste management, pollution control, and cleaning up their messes are like gold to investors. Biodiversity conservation means protecting all the different kinds of plants, animals, and other living things in nature. Investors are interested in this because they want to know if a company's business activities harm habitats or endanger species. They want to invest in companies that care about protecting biodiversity and preserving natural ecosystems. So when investors see that a company is working to protect the environment and its wildlife, they are more likely to invest money in that company. ESG investors want to make sure a company is doing its part to keep the air and water clean, handle waste properly, and protect nature. Staying on the right side of the law shows investors that a company is serious about being environmentally friendly and sustainable. When ESG investors check out a company, they pay close attention to how it handles the environment in its supply chain. They want to know if the suppliers are eco-friendly, how things are shipped, and where the raw materials come from. Companies that have a clean and green supply chain tend to be more attractive to these investors. Investors are always on the lookout for companies that come up with new tech and products that help protect the environment. This could include stuff like renewable energy, energy saving tech, and sustainable farming practices. ESG investors want to know if a company is prepared for and can reduce the risks posed by natural disasters and changing weather patterns. They look at things like the company's disaster preparedness, how well their business can withstand disasters, and how they plan to adapt over time. When companies talk to different groups like local communities, environmental organizations, and government agencies about environmental issues, it's a good sign for investors who care about ESG. This kind of communication helps companies spot potential problems and develop strategies to address them. Investors who are into ESG like it when companies are open and transparent about their environmental performance. Companies that share information about their green initiatives, goals, and achievements with everyone are more likely to attract ESG investors who see this as a sign that the company is serious about being environmentally responsible. Social factors. Social factors in a company are about how it gets along with the people it works with, like employees, customers, suppliers, and the local community. When investors look at a company, they pay attention to things like whether workers are paid fair wages, if the workplace is safe, and if the company follows the law about workers' rights. It's important that the company also makes sure that the people who supply it with goods or services are treating their workers right. No one should be using child labor or forcing people to work against their will. Having a mix of people from different backgrounds, races, genders, ages, and everything else in the company is very important. It's all about making sure everyone feels like they belong and has a say in what the company does. Even the highest ranking people, from the top bosses to the newest interns, all take these things into account when they are making decisions. Employee relations and engagement is all about how well the company communicates with its employees. It's about how people talk to each other, give and receive feedback, and help employees grow in their careers. When employees are really into their work, the company usually does better, comes up with new ideas, and stays strong over time. Health and safety is about how serious the company is about keeping its workers, customers, and the local community safe. It's about making sure there are measures in place to prevent accidents, protect people from dangerous stuff, and make sure everyone has access to good health benefits. Community relations is about how the company behaves with the local areas where it operates. Good community relations means helping the area develop, supporting social causes, and trying not to harm, like polluting or forcing people to leave their homes. Consumer protection is about treating customers fairly when they buy stuff from the company. This means being honest about what's being sold, helping customers if there are any problems or complaints, and using clear and simple language in advertisements. In today's world, where more and more businesses rely on technology, it's very important to keep people's private information safe. This means making sure hackers can't get in and stop any leaks. Product quality and safety is also a big deal. Companies need to make sure their products are safe and good quality because it helps keep customers happy and earn their trust. They need to follow the rules and have regular checks to make sure everything's up to scratch. When it comes to investing, ESG stuff matters. It means thinking about how a company treats people and the planet, not just how much money they make. By considering these things when investing, you can support businesses that care about doing the right thing for society. Governance factors is all about how well a company is run. It's about who's in charge, how much the big bosses get paid, how open and honest they are with their customers, what kind of values they have, and how well they deal with risks. Good governance is important for a company to do well in the long run and keep their investors happy. Board diversity and independence is about who is sitting at the table when a company makes big decisions. Having a mix of men and women from different backgrounds and with different skills is good because it means more varied ideas. Also, it's important that these people aren't too cozy with the company's managers so they can keep a proper check on them. Executive compensation is all about how much money the top employees in the company make. Investors who care about ESG want to make sure that this pay package encourages bosses to think about the long-term health of the company, not just quick profits. If investors like you and me have enough say in the company's big decisions, can get the info we need and can hold the managers responsible if they mess up. When shareholders have more power, it usually means the company is more open and honest. Good governance also means the company should be doing businesses the right way. This includes not being corrupt, treating workers fairly, respecting people's rights, and following the law. Investors look at how well a company spots, handles, and tells people about risks that could affect its businesses, including those related to the environment, society, and governance. Being clear about these risks helps investors make smart choices. When a company listens and responds to what its workers, customers, suppliers, and the local community need and want, it's a sign of good governance. Talking to these groups can build trust and prevent problems. ESG investors closely examine a company's governance structure, which include its rules, processes, and how it makes decisions. They check if there are independent groups within the board like audit and compensation committees, if the CEO's role is separate from the board chair, and how the company deals with conflicts of interest. Governance also covers whether a company follows laws, regulations, and industry norms. Companies that have broken laws or had ethical issues may have more risks related to governance. ESG investors want to see that a company's governance supports a long-term plan that aims for sustainable growth. This means looking at how innovative the company is, how much it invests in research and development, and if its goals match up with the social and environmental changes. Governance is about being open and responsible in how decisions are made and shared. Companies that give out information willingly talk to their shareholders and listen to what they say so that they are committed to good governance. ESG integration is about mixing ESG factors with regular financial analysis to understand investment options better. It helps investors spot companies that are doing businesses sustainably, managing risks well, and have a good chance of growing in the future. Investors collect informations about ESG from various sources like company reports, research firms, and ESG rating agencies. They study this info to understand how important ESG is for a company's profitability and risk taking. Then they integrate these ESG data into their traditional financial analysis to get a complete picture of a company's value and the risks it faces. This might mean changing their investment models, incorporating ESG considerations, and thinking about how ESG factors could affect their investments. Part of the ESG integration process involves communicating with companies to encourage them to improve their ESG performance and share more information. Investors might participate in meetings, suggest changes, or have private discussions with top management to address ESG concerns and find solutions. When making investment decisions, investors definitely take ESG factors into account. They might choose not to invest in companies with poor ESG scores, prefer those with good ESG records, or opt for companies that are actively working on improving their ESG performance. Investors continuously monitor the ESG aspects of their investments and track how they affect their returns. They also share updates and insights with others about ESG risks, opportunities, and developments to demonstrate their responsible and transparent approach to ESG investing. ESG screening strategies are ways for people to choose investment options that meet their standards for environmental, social, and governance issues. It's like making a list of what you want in a company before you invest your money. There are two main types of screening, positive and negative. Positive screening is like picking the best apples from a bunch. You look for companies that really care about the environment, treat their employees well, and do businesses in a fair and responsible way. You are not just avoiding bad apples, you are actively choosing the good ones. Negative screening is the opposite. It's like saying you won't buy apples from a basket with any rotten ones in it. You avoid companies that are bad for the environment, mistreat people, or don't follow the rules. It's like not hanging out with people who always get into trouble. Negative screening is the most common way people approach ESG investing. It helps make sure your money isn't going to support things you don't believe in, like tobacco, guns, or oil and gas. Another type of screening is called norm-based screening. This is like making sure the apples meet certain standards before you buy them. In the case of investing, it means looking at companies to see if they follow global rules about taking care of the environment, treating employees well, and avoiding corruption. If a company doesn't meet these standards, you don't invest in it. Thematic screening is about focusing on specific issues that matter to you. You could choose to invest in companies that are working on clean energy solutions or that support gender equality in the workplace. This lets you put your money where your values are. Integration screening is about putting together environmental, social, and governance factors with our normal process of checking out investments and deciding whether to put our money. Instead of looking at it separately, we all just include those ESG details in our overall analysis. This helps us understand the possible risks and rewards that come with each investment better. We know that ESG can really affect how well a company does financially and how long it can stay in business. So by considering all of these things from the beginning, we can make smarter decisions and build a more sustainable portfolio. It's not just about being environmentally friendly or socially responsible. It's about making investments that will pay off in the long run. Impact investing. This kind of investing is not just about making money like usual. It's about using your money to help society and the environment. You invest in businesses, groups, or projects that are meant to solve social and environmental problems. Both the money you make and the good you do are important. Exclusionary and inclusionary screening. There are two ways to check if an investment is good for impact investing. In exclusionary screening, you leave out investments that don't meet certain standards, like a no list. On the other hand, inclusionary screening means you choose investments that do meet certain standards or themes, like a yes list. Each method has its pros and cons, and investors can use a mix of methods depending on what they want to achieve, how much risk they are willing to take, and what they believe in. Also, how well these screening methods work depends on how good and easy to get the ESG information is and how much ESG is built into the whole process of choosing and managing investments. Thematic investment is like throwing a party, but instead of a party, you throw an investment party. You pick a theme you care about, like clean energy, new healthcare ideas, or helping society. After you choose your theme, you do your homework to find companies that are really happening, that are really helping the environment, treating people well, and running their businesses the right way, making your investment mix. Now you put together your investment like a party favor bag. You choose different things, some shares, some bonds, some funds from companies that are the best at your theme. Just like giving advice to a friend, you talk to these companies and tell them how they can do even better at helping the world. You might vote on important decisions or suggest new ideas to them, checking the impact. In the end, you want to see how much good your investment did. Did it help reduce pollution? Did more women get to lead companies? Did it save water? You look at all this to know if your investment party was a hit. In thematic ESG investing, we not only look for good impact but also keep an eye on things that could change how well our investments do. We look at things like rules and regulations, new technology, what people want, and other things that could affect our investments. Alignment with values. Thematic ESG investing lets you pick investments that match your own beliefs and values. By investing in companies that are working on big environment and society problems, you can help make a difference and also have a chance to earn money back. More and more people are interested in thematic ESG investing because they care about the environment and society. This means there is a bigger market for investments that focus on ESG themes, and many of these funds have shown that they can do well financially while also doing good for society in the end. In the end, thematic ESG investing is about picking investments based on ideas or trends that are good for the environment and society. It's a way for investors to support companies that are really making a difference in these areas while also trying to earn money. Impact investing, also called ESG investing, is when people put their money in companies that are good for the planet, treat people well, and run their business the right way. This means they make money while also helping to make the world a better place. ESG funds are investments options that only invest in companies that are good at ESG. There are three main ways they pick where to invest money. 1. Positive screening. They find companies that are really good at ESG and add them to the fund. Negative screening. They avoid companies that are bad for the environment, treat people poorly, or not well managed. They look at ESG factors along with regular financial information to get a full picture of how a company is doing and how much money it can make. ESG funds can focus on different areas like renewable energy, saving water, helping women, or farming without hurting the environment. People invest in them because they want to put their money where their morals are, help the planet, and still make a good profit. Research shows that when investors care about ESG factors, they can make money without taking too much risks, especially over the long term. Companies that are good at ESG tend to be better prepared for changes in the market, new rules, and what people expect from them. But there are challenges with ESG investing. Some companies pretend to be greener than they are. It's hard to find common ways to measure ESG, and there can be problems with the quality of ESG data. Investors need to be careful and make sure the information they get is trustworthy. Governments and authorities are starting to pay more attention to ESG. They want companies to share information about their ESG performance and hold them accountable for it. This will help investors make smarter choices and encourage companies to do better. The future looks bright for ESG investing. More and more people want it, new rules are coming out, and society is pushing companies to solve big problems like climate change and inequality. As ESG becomes more important in investing, companies will be encouraged to run their business in a way that's good for everyone and that cares about what matters to people. In simple words, ESG investing means putting money in companies that are good for the environment, treat people well, and run their businesses properly. This way, investors can make money while also helping to make the world a better place. It's about doing well by doing good. There are some good and not so good parts to ESG investing. On the good side, it helps companies be more responsible and makes them think about more than just making money. It also helps investors feel good about where they put in their money. On the not so good side, sometimes companies that are not very good at ESG practices can do better in the short term, but in the long run, investing in these companies can lead to better returns because they are more likely to be successful and sustainable. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, I would like to receive your support. Please give it a like, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to our channel.